TNC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. TNC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Upset here would be huge.
Radiant team ban.
I predicted TNC to win first, but not only that, as far as I actually made a bet with Grant, I believe it was. We did a small bet, but just a simple $5 bet, basically. I thought TNC was going to win the group stages here, hands down in Southeast Asia.
10
so
seconds remaining.
happy to announce that still stands. They're 2-0 right here, but Moogle was actually, I was trying to...
TNC's turn to pick.
Night Stalker.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I have a special place in my heart for Earthshaker. I don't think he's quite there. You can still do him if you have a draft that works for the off-lane role of it as well. But I think the other hero is the Clockwork. So this is sort of the question now: is are you going to try and match the Clockwork's movements to?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Queen of Pain.
Radiant team ban. TNC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. TNC's turn to ban.
And the mobility of this team already, if it might come up a little bit short in that regard. So if they do go for it, then they would need to probably play a little bit more around the Jakiro and his movements, or at least not go in as deep. Like Night Stalker and Queen of Pain, you can go in pretty hard with these heroes, and so I could definitely still see it, but you need to find a way to make up for that lack of mobility that Jakiro has. So I think that it could work. I kind of like the idea of taking maybe something that's
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Disruptor.
TNC's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Rubik.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Mancer who's going to be able to, go for like drop-in wards all over the place, and the slow does pierce BKB. So something like a Lifesteal or a Juggernaut might be kind of tough for TNC. I think that they might want to go, if they do go a melee core, it's going to be something like a Spectre, which I don't think that they're going to do. Maybe instead some other like a Razor or something. But we'll see what TNC want to go for. But that's just my impression based upon the reaction to what Moogle is drafting.
Just making sure my settings are good here for the game, guys. Sorry, just switching the setup here for in between the games. Obviously, I was casting over there on the BTS 1 stream now. Coming over to our beautiful BTS 6 stream. Well, shout out to you guys tuning in. Earthshaker coming out of the 4th pick. So that takes care of a hard stun idea. Most certainly. But whenever I see heroes like an Earthshaker and a Clockwork on the same team, either or could run off lane or 4 position. So it's the one that you think makes more sense.
Oh God!
Wow.
I think then you take Earthshaker in the off lane. I think that's the way that you have to play this. And this is the other answer to the melee core that I was talking about. I was thinking a hero that could get in on top of somebody with the Spectre. Anti-Mage is that hero again, but more so, you have these other 4 heroes, whatever that 4th hero is going to be for TNC, that can make space for AM to farm. But I think that you play Earthshaker now with the Enchant Totem build. I think that that's the way that you try and play this, and you still get points in Fissure, but he's a better laner against Anti-Mage than the Clockwork is, I think. Maybe you dual lane it, but I don't know. I actually think that probably the best play would be to try and go aggro against the AM and put the pressure on. Although the TNC still have a lot of picks to deal with that. I think that should be the play, though.
They also ban out Magnus on the side of Moogle, and definitely could have been a viable, perhaps an offlane option to, of course, provide that synergy for the anti-mage. Don't know if that empower, but taking away said option instead. Shadow Fiend, the ban by TNC, and then, Underlord, we see him every game, so what? No, Underlord picked up. I love this hero personally, and not that I'm still waiting, but I feel like that there's so much potential for his Dark Rift, especially, that we just haven't really seen a whole lot of.
10 seconds remaining.
So I'm hoping for that here.
And in a game with an anti-mage where you're probably going to be going for a lot of split pushing, only taking the fights that you want, maybe a Night Stalker, Queen of Pain pickoffs, this is great for him. OD is the last pickup, so that signals it's going to be a Veno core. Paulison is playing the Earthshaker, so it's going to see Clockwork moving around a lot. I was honestly wondering if it was going to maybe be a Bloodseeker instead of an OD. You've got two blinking heroes here that Rupture just destroys, but the OD, the Orb is great against AM. The problem is just going to be, like you said, that hard stun, locking him down. I think that they have the pieces for it,
yeah.
But TNC is such a good team, and Raven's amazing carry. I think that TNC have this if they play it correctly.
Yeah, just simply from experience and player skill, you definitely lean towards TNC, but I think Moogle's draft is most certainly something that can compete. Like, if these were two just very evenly matched teams on paper as far as the players go, I think you could almost argue that Moogle's draft is going to be better in some ways. They definitely have the lockdown handle. And Disruptor, going back to that pick too real quickly, I've always kind of felt like Disruptor, again, I don't want to use strong words such as underrated, but I've always kind of, scratched my head a little bit as far as why we maybe haven't seen such a hero more. And I guess a lot of it probably comes down to there are just other support options like a Crystal Maiden, for example, that they're just simply better. It's not that he's bad, they're just better. But I guess I'm just excited to see him here.
Yeah, no, totally. I think it depends a lot upon the team that's playing it and playing around the glimpse and building a draft that works well with it. But I mean, take a look at the CIS region, for instance, and Sioma has been playing that hero forever. A lot of these guys, they're like specialists on the hero, and I think that if it's a draft that fits a lot like Underlord, then it's going to be perfect. But otherwise, it could be a little bit rough. I am excited to see the Underlord as well. I think that, as you mentioned, the Dark Rift plays here are going to be important. Probably the best way that this could end up working is you get into a fight as 4, you pull the entire team to one side, and then you Dark Rift away while Anti-Mage is ratting. That's the play here, I think, for TNC. Fighting might be a little bit tough.
Dark Rift, again, a great ability, and one that I'm excited to see Sam H play with very effectively here. Going to Sam H, while I happen to have him highlighted here as I go away from him, but I happen to have him highlighted right here. I've heard other analysis on other panels from recent events basically make the point that if you were to pick like maybe the best player on TNC, Sam H definitely gets that respect, I feel like, as far as the offlane and what he brings as a player. I don't know how familiar you are necessarily with these players and everything, but is that something that you've heard before, or you have a...
Yeah, Sam H is amazing. I've watched TNC a lot in their lead up to the run for TI. He was amazing when he was playing on that team. He got better, I feel like, than as everybody else remained fairly static. I think that Raven took a step up as well as a carry. But Sam H, to me, he is one of those players that, especially like if he gets his Nyx Assassin, that's when he makes like a ton of plays. Underlord isn't so much that hero, though. Much more this draft is built around Raven, and maybe this is a new style for them or something that they're willing to take more leeways with, but it's taking the pressure off of Raven and putting it more on taking the pressure off Sam H and putting it more on Raven to carry.
Sam H did a good job, but creep blocking right here to start things off. Going to run into Venomancer initially, but as going to pull the creep wave now back, and obviously Disruptor doing the same with his own, so it ends up going to where it probably would have been anyways if they just didn't block in the first place. I feel like teams should just be better off, agreeing at that rather than all that extra work be getting, I swear.
Well, and you see Miracle there making sure that they don't get the range creep, and that's why they end up sticking there. Because like if Underlord lets that through and then it ends up getting taken out first, it ends up making a huge advantage. But
true.
Yeah. Also in the top lane, Paulison, this is the nice part about Earthshaker against an anti-mage, is that you can do the fissure blocks to secure yourself a little bit of an easier laning time. I'm expecting that he's going to go for more points into Enchant Totem after he gets that initial one, just to help out with his creep momentum. But, I mean, already you can see Fissure's an expensive spell, and you don't have a ton of mana.
So I got those clarities early on. I believe it's already even used one of them as middle lane. That was a near kill onto the OD, in fact, but Clockwork being here with the cogs helps him out. Cuckoo with the lower herself, but yeah, she's fine. Not too worried here. Has that salve on him now. Gonna heal it up, but kind of a 2v2 middle lane ends up happening.
This is sort of what I was talking about, where you have the Clockwork mirroring the Night Stalker's rotations in the early stages. They need to do this because otherwise OD is just dead here. So it's one of the nice parts about having Clockwork in the lane, and he's going to go and try and secure Maroon. And maybe even now that they've got the initial wave, they'll leave him alone, since OD has 2 now.
Underlord goes and steals a creep wave for himself. Disruptor tried to prevent it from happening, but Underlord did a good job and makes sure he secures it and gonna get some nice experience off of it, and so some gold benefit from it too. Of course, Clockwork, he's sitting at this banner up here, and that's got to be such a crappy feeling for Sam Mage running out over a perfect time. What seemed like, nope, Ninja right in front of you.
Uh-oh, this might actually be a kill by the tier 2, almost. My god, the Night Stalker and the Earthshaker were getting into a battle over that bounty rune, and it looked like Tim's was going to be able to get it, but the boots on Earthshaker first. He knew his limits, and that gives OD a little bit more space here in the mid lane as well.
Night Stalker, again, just makes his way to the middle and gonna continue to harass that is OD. The lane bottom, Underlord, he's pretty deep once again. We saw last time he pulled the creep wave, and nope, this time he's gonna go for the TP out there. And Clockwork will know that he's in there, perhaps going for that, and blocks him, and now this is a dead Underlord. There are 4 heroes that are here, so in a sense he's making space, as some people would say, but that's first blood.
Wow, really cool stuff there. Again, the clogs, they knew where he was. It's the type of play that, you know, if you miss that one, it looks really bad for your team.
Yeah.
And he managed to get it, and it brought Earthshaker over, but by the same token, Earthshaker didn't really expend that much by going. Like, this creep wave that's up here, he's going to miss some of it, but it's pushing into the tower, and he should be able to get there before it's all lost from him. So probably not too much experience gone here, I'd imagine.
Quinn of Pain, level 4, 18-7 farm against the 11-1 OD right here. So obviously there's been support to this middle lane somewhat, but right now Cuckoo having the better time. Doesn't have that bottle just yet, but going to be going for it next. And Clockwork actually rotating over at OD, puts the imprisonment on. She has the blink, but the cogs push back, rid of that mana if anything, and gonna get her to blink away eventually, but pretty much making her use all that mana and even a bit of her life pool on top of that. But like I said, the bottle's being delivered now, so should be fine overall.
I mean, the one thing that I'm seeing in this game that looks really bad for TNC is that both your Night Stalker and the Underlord are level 1. You just now get level 2 for Underlord at 4 minutes in from the second rune. And this is the point where Tim's wants to be moving around and making stuff happen. Now that he has the level 2, they need to get stuff done, and they should be able to do it with Hunter in the Night, but they need to make sure that these rotations end up bearing fruit.
Yeah, ideally for Night Stalker at that first nighttime, you want to be level 3 for that second point in Void. Much more value as a result of it, but doesn't have it. Instead, going to run towards the middle lane. But are you really killing OD here? Well, definitely not with a haste rune. Now he's going to have to maybe turn his attention to Clockwork. It's caught in the cogs with him. Cuckoo. He's supposed to be careful of stuff. She actually doesn't even have the bottle on her currently. And that will be the end of it, but now the Night Stalker, the first attempt at a gank, comes up short, unfortunately.
Well, that fighting was happening, and also Paulison got killed off by Raven. I didn't manage to catch it, but just too much action going all around the map at nighttime.
Wow, I didn't even see that watching too focused on the middle lane. But about that, I mean, Anti-Mage has obviously been having very good farm at the top lane. Now that hero kill on top of it. So TNC, so you're mentioning some bad signs with the underlevel, the supports perhaps. Well, Anti-Mage is doing just fine, and actually could be doing better now. At the top lane, the lift up initially, but TP's coming in both on Venomancer, and actually Disruptor cancels his, as they had already fallen back at that point. Not worth going for it further, so they bait out a rotation despite not getting that kill.
Well done, definitely. And now you sort of are in this awkward stage where you still want to get things done with that Night Stalker, but you need to react. There it is. That's what he needed.
There you go. A kill on the Earthshaker that happened to be very low in life, and he knew what he was doing. He's trying to farm up a little bit and then pop the shrine. It seemed like maybe wait for the strong rotation, and obviously waited a little bit too long, so good job by Night Stalker.
Ooh, this might be a courier kill as well. Oh, TNC didn't see it.
Oh, well, he's seeing the clockwork over here that's being occupied, so you could argue this is probably better in the long run, especially if they get the kill out of it, and they certainly are. Actually, Cuckoo credit for that last hit, so yeah, TNC has really opened it up a bit now. Early running this game, both their cores and the Anti-Mage and the Queen of Pain doing fantastic when it comes to their farm on both last hits and hero kills even.
Well, and that point that you were making earlier also about the Night Stalker wanting to be level 3, that is like almost entirely the case. And you see here that the big reason it's working for them is because Cuckoo has been able to secure himself such a good lane in the mid that they can still find those kills in spite of not having the silence. So they just have enough firepower under their wings that they're able to keep up that pressure. And I kind of want to see if they can translate that into punishing Miracle as well. He's had pretty free lane. It looks like this is the rotation they want to do to find it.
It certainly is. Clockwork goes in, Anti-Mage just blinks away, and now Venomancer is going to try to have to stand his ground, maybe take somebody with him in that Rubik, but the lift up, the Mana Void even used as Clockwork went in. Ends up getting the kill out of Venomancer, but now Earthshaker here, and Totem and that Fissure used as well, and pulls in. He's going to fall most likely. Kai the Cogs will block them off at the last second, but Raven's in pursuit and wants to finish the job. Obviously, Rubik got picked off before this as well. He uses the Void on a Clockwork, actually. Oh. Totem, auto attack, he couldn't get it off. That would have been fun, but Earthshaker not to be. Clockwork's still hanging around. Level 3 right here. Going to be lifted up, actually, and thrown down, too. So all they lost was Rubik, and they end up getting 3 kills, including Miracle on that Veno.
That was huge, and it looked so close. Like that Enchant Totem that came out from the Earthshaker at that one moment, like he had just gotten the mana taken away by the right click from Raven, and God, big plays there from Raven to know that he needs to get back into the fight to win it for his team. And oh, look at Cuckoo in the mid lane, just runs at Barry.
And he's like, accept your fate. Well, the reaction comes in, and actually the battery assault's preventing the last auto attack.
That is a Cuckoo play. Listen, this player, I've said it before, the best of times, the worst of times. He goes in and like blinks on the Disruptor and yells at him, and then just he ends up dying. Oh, it hurts.
Didn't even get it either. It's like one of those, okay, yeah, not worth the trade. It's another thing to just not even get the kill and died. You know what? Gods was mentioning the same thing last game, so let's just say you're not the first to say that, and I'm sure you won't be the last. I mean, that's what makes some of these mid players, though, to be fair. They make the flashiest and skillful of plays, and, well, they wouldn't be doing that if they weren't always, taking risks such as that sometimes. So, obviously this time it bites him in the ass, but overall for TNC, they still are in a decent spot. In fact, switching over the net worth. He's third in the game still, despite that. Veno, though, even despite his death, he's 3,200 net worth, and Miracle not doing too shabby, but the question is, what are we going to see on this Venomancer? Again, I feel like we've been seeing between these open qualifiers and now these regionals, we've seen a little bit of Venomancer pop up, but there's been no set build choices. It's definitely varied from the right click all the way to just full-on utility with the Guardian Greaves and whatnot.
I think this game, you can rely more upon your OD to be the one that's dealing a ton of damage. The big problem, of course, is that you need to, like, this anti-mage is just a huge problem for him, so he can't really go the magic-oriented build. I think he has to go right-click, but he also kind of needs to get into these other items that make him tanky and allow his spells to deal the damage to the rest of the lineup. So, all in all, it's just, the Veno he's going to feel lackluster most of the game, regardless of what build he goes.
And you got Rubik right here, just simply farming out the middle lane, getting some kind of experience, level 6. Of course, would like to have that spell steal, so he manages to pick that up here. Yeah, they're going to rotate together. Seems like maybe a smoke play could be coming out. There's still about 2 minutes left before Night Stalker has that nighttime to take advantage of, so maybe not. Going to hold on to that for the time being, and Quap heads back towards that middle lane. She just bought something, right? What's coming out here? It's going to be the full-on power treads. Finish for Queen of Pain, so no answers just yet, but Villa Discord, of course, is an item that we see every now and then, especially with the double null talisman build early on. Is that something that you expect to see here?
Yeah, and I think the other, I think that's a pretty decent look for her. I think the bigger thing is that it's just the idea that going for the treads, going for the double null tally, wanted to be pressuring in lane and winning her lane hard, and she is doing.
Tis mine.
as for once you get the big ultis up, and then you can make that play happen. Is maybe Tim is in trouble here.
Yeah, he's going to be found by the Disruptor as well as the Veno, but nope, Glimpse will prevent that TP from actually happening, and I guess he gets the cooldown used, but it's level 2 Glimpse, only 40 more seconds before that will be back up again. And ready to go.
Cuckoo mid. He might be in trouble if they can time it out with the fissure.
Just not enough. Yeah, that was going to be tough.
Again,
yeah. Make the play in the end.
But I think the big thing to watch this game is going to, like, they just aren't really having an answer for Raven here. And I think the bigger question is going to be how he itemizes after he ends up going for the battle here. He goes for the Vlad's farming build. Maybe might be that as well.
Yeah, he's definitely dead this time. There's that Sonar Scream, or Sonic Wave even, to finish the job. The Scream of Pain mix in there, but yeah, OD dead for another 20 seconds here. Clockwork poured it in, but obviously couldn't get there in time. Rubik is level 6 now as well, and he's still in that Rocket Flare. Only level 2, but using that to scout things out and perhaps try to farm by the lanes as well as that Vision Purpose. And they smoke up together, so here is that Night Temple due to darkness. Night Stalker. I want Merkle.
This is a good kill, too, because he just picked up his Midas. He's still going to be on cooldown, but if they get this, this is a big boon for them.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling ever, too. You, like, all of a sudden, they just come in your flank, and you're like, ah, crap.
They also stole Veno ulti there, so they'll have that for the next fight.
That is clutch. Now, using the poison up, he's going to actually use it right here as Clockwork goes in trying to finish somebody off, so Clockwork goes down. I mean, that seemed a little unnecessary, but...
Well, they'll have it for this next fight as well, so now you get 2 instances of it. I think it's decent because they weren't sure who else was going to show up to that one. But yeah, now Sam H is going to end up dying for it as well.
Caught by the kinetic field, and the rotating OD will do him in. I was just about to mention that. No, Delord was level 1 for the longest time, but obviously level 8 now. He's got a lot of room that opened up for him. So that's showing off and has that Dark Rift, but still farming out the bottom lane, trying to finish that mech at least. And then perhaps that's when we can start seeing him moving around with others. But Earthshaker, uh-oh, he might be in some trouble. It is nighttime for this Night Stalker, level 6 currently.
If he walks up right now, he's dead anyways.
Yeah.
This is
void.
This is a painful one, and it doesn't really feel like it's going to change that much more. They dropped all the ultis, but oh lord, Static Storm stolen as well. It's all gone wrong.
Well, they did use the Static Storm to get the kill on a Night Stalker, so 1 for 1, but it's going to be 2 for 1 as double kill comes out for Cuckoo, and he wants 3 damage. He wants that hat trick. Will he secure it? Probably. Guy's just kind of running around in circles. Looks like a chicken with his head cut off. Hook shots in the face, but a triple kill. Indeed is the case for Queen of Pain. And now she was blinking 2 seconds. Gonna have to use it just in case.
Alright, well, 1437's have a great game. He stole Poison Nova, then he stole Static Storm to secure the kill, and now he's stealing Plague Ward so he can start throwing those all around. He is having a hell of a performance on his Clockwork, and my god.
Uh-oh, OD. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Night Stalker and Underlord on top of him, the Pit of Malice. Initially rooting him in place, but the Glimpse gonna bring right back the Underlord into the death here. So at least Night Stalker gets away, even pops Darkness. So help him get on out of there.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, we'll look at the net worth over the past couple of minutes here and the way that it's gone down. Anti-Mage is free farming. He's going to be going for the Vlads, and they don't have any way to stop him. If they don't put a handle on this soon, this game could potentially be over at like 30 minutes just because of the amount of farm rate it's going to have.
That's one of those things where, yeah, with the way this game is going, you kind of think, okay, yeah, Moogle's starting to, get some nice turn kills, and that last fight wasn't horrendous here at the top lane. They at least got the 1 kill. They just... But then you're right. You kind of remind yourself, oh yeah, Anti-Mage has just been free farming this whole time, and that Vlad's indeed just about finished. Only needs about 50 gold or so, 1 creep kill really, or a couple, and he'll have it. And that's a Battle Fury Vlad's at really 15.5 minutes or so that will be finished. Bottom lane, more trouble as OD gets caught by the Pit of Malice. Firestorm's put out. That's level 4 Firestorm, plenty of damage, and OD puts himself under. Might actually save him in the end as a Dark Rift is going to be used trying to get out. They get the kill. However, they aren't going to send Queen of Pain back, but she may still live through this. They're pinging out the area. Polison's like, I swear she's here. But she's not.
Yeah, and we'll be able to live through this one as well. Cuckoo getting away with it yet again. Is he? Oh my god, he's going back in.
Of course he is. He's Cuckoo, damn it.
Shows up as well. That might be the death of him.
Disruptor. Yeah, Static Storm. Guess what? Cuckoo died going for a play. Probably shouldn't have made in the end. And now Anti-Mage. He's also in a little bit of... If they kill him, that's big. Raven, can he get out of this? He blinks away. He goes down. He's going to be close back, though. That should be a kill on Anti-Mage. He cannot blink again, and yes, they get it. Barry on that Disruptor. He has been clutch this game, man, as far as getting some key kills here.
Definitely. Barry making the most of it. I think that you don't need to show up right there if you're the Anti-Mage, and now looking like they're going to be able to find 1437 as well.
There you go. Fissure secures that, and so, yeah, I mean, still they have that Anti-Mage that's looking very good, but that's something now for Moogle here.
It's huge. It's everything. Like, Paulison just finished up his Blink Dagger, and now he has Blink and also going to be going back for the Shadow Blade soon. This, to me, feels like it was a definitive moment in the game. The Queen of Pain dying, along with that Anti-Mage, the two top net worth heroes, and it all goes back to this playmaking Earthshaker. It's huge.
Dire's top tower
Stock
is
here,
under
double
attack.
damage being picked up. Going to be doing some stacking right here, it looks like. But yeah, Queen of Pain, that's now a couple of these decisions here from Cuckoo that we've seen where kind of a little bit of a head scratcher coming out. So, you know, for the sake of TNC, that doesn't continue to happen
This
a bunch.
could be another one here.
Middle lane. Rubik's going to be fine. Did he steal something? Nope.
I thought Kai was going to go for that, the Clockwork, but they want to save it. This is a really good decision-making. They might even be able to save their OD here.
Oh, that would be a big save, but will they in the end? Now hook shot in on the Night Stalker. Battery Assault's active. And Tim's, well, Battery Assault also is down the creep there a little bit, so saving him somewhat, but he is actually going to be able to run away thanks to being Knight from the darkness. Rocket Flare, he can't run from that, though. Gets the kill. Middle lane, though. Rubik, he is caught out as well. He's trying to survive. Run away ain't going to be enough. Mouse can't save him there. Mana Void on Earthshaker. And there we go with the Scream of Pain to finish the job. Despite that Shadow Amulet.
I do wonder now if maybe this Earthshaker, you know, the Shadow Amulet pickup I think is quite good because it's going to put pressure on Raven throughout the whole rest of the game, but he needs to farm it up the rest of the way. They need to be able to secure him that little bit of farm, and then it changes. If he only has the Shadow Amulet going forward, it really is much less emphasis, because with Enchant Totem starting to get maxed out soon and then going into the Shadow Blade, it's a tremendous amount of damage, and then Silver Edge also is going to be able to break that passive, which reduces the magical damage coming in from Anti-Mage. By and large, if they can get some more farm and secure it for themselves on the Earthshaker, it's going to be great.
I would love to see that potentially coming out from a hero like Earthshaker. I've always been such an advocate of this idea of the whole Shadow Blade. I mean, and the more the pub stomp build, of course, the Chrysalis and whatnot. But yeah, something like that Silver Edge, as you're suggesting, I mean, it is a possibility of it could actually be pretty viable here for Moogle coming out. Underlord, he's scouting out the bottom lane with Rubik down here, but it doesn't look like they're going to make too much with that. Rubik does not have something stolen currently, but Night Stalker's life's going to be stolen from him. Kinetic Field toys with him a little bit. Staying alive quite a bit longer than you maybe expect, but eventually has done it. A nice job finding him, and perhaps the vision of this ward, spotting him come up in the area.
Yeah, this is quite good, and it's continuing to find these pickoffs on TNC when they really are, you know, obviously wanting to get good vision down in the jungle and all that stuff. But I feel like as long as it's not Anti-Mage dying, you're okay with this if you're TNC. And now he's going back for the Manta style. When he gets that, it allows him another ability to fight if he wants to, but I still think that you don't necessarily want to take fights with your AM or pushing.
Hook shot, conked on in, but oh, he gets out. Thanks to that Force Staff. That's Rubik's farm, man. Those Arcane Boots Force Staff at 1950 into the game, and he's level 11. He stole the cogs right there, as we see, so no surprise, but Rose doing a fantastic job on the Rubik hero here, and Sam H going to join him, heal him, well, more so give him mana, I guess. He also is kind of healing him up with that aura effect.
They just want to keep the punish on the OD, and I think that Moogle have realized this. That's why you have the Clockwork just sitting here, babysitting him with the urn, and having that ability to just, you know, cogs to save him if they need to.
OD trying to finish that Force Staff himself. Earthshaker going to smoke up with the team. And towards that middle lane, Queen of Pain, though. It looks like she's going elsewhere currently. In fact, she has an invis rune also botted up, so this could get really interesting here. Going to be broken as she pops the invis rune. Yeah, they realize something's up. Spam ping in the area, but don't have any kind of detection. It seems like that something's being delivered. That's the 4-staff actually being finished. Fisher doesn't catch anyone. Queen of Pain's lining up a Sonic Wave. Can feel it's coming, just a matter of when. Odie would be the prime target. The silence comes out. And oh, the Static Storm in response, though. The 4-staff save. Something's going to be stolen. Looks like the imprisonment is taken out. Hookshot connects on a Queen of Pain. And the Dark Rift is activated by Underlord. Looking to help save them. Will he keep it? Yes, they felt like they were in a deadly spot, and, well, they didn't get anything out of that, actually.
You bait the Static Storm. I think that you take a shot like that at the OD, and if it ends up working out, great. If not, it's not like you lost a whole lot outside of Dark Rift cooldown. The biggest thing is that it was a smoke gank that didn't connect onto Raven. He farms the entire time while everybody from Moogle is just sitting around in their jungle.
God, this hero's never ceases to impress me, just how fast this hero can farm if you let him in, and I know that's a lot easier said than done as far as stopping him, for sure. So, the Battle Fury came very quickly. Yes, he had that death at the bottom lane. That seems a little silly, but now he has a full Manta style and the Blast to go, and his teammates are looking for the skill in the Venomancer to prevent the poison over from going off. Will he be able to? He missed the Sonic Wave, actually, and that's going to make the difference. He does get the Poison Nova off, OD. Put under, but now that life's going to start ticking. There is also the Shrine up over there, the Chainsaw Disruptor. They also catch Kai, though, on the Clockwork, so they end up getting at least, well, Disruptor's going to stay alive for the time being. Glimpses back on a Night Stalker. Solo alive, though, and Tim's will get credit for finishing the job, and thus the double kill as a result. Earthshaker, Enchant Totem. Catches Queen of Pain, but Anti-Mage is now here, and OD is trying to run from it. Has a way to put himself under if need be. They're not killing him, though, most likely, so
they're never stopping.
Yeah,
they're never going to
stop. Keep going, man. I'm guessing they're going to kill the OD. Yeah, I'm watching this now, chase on Earthshaker. Is that finally over? I think it is.
So, Cuckoo, I think it was TI5, maybe it was TI6, I'm not sure. He had another one of those plays where he just, like, missed the Sonic Wave as well, and it lost them the fight and eventually got him knocked out. So, maybe a little bit of a throwback to the old Cuckoo, but, you know, again, this is one of my favorite players in all of Dota because he makes the biggest plays in the world, and then he also ends up occasionally throwing a couple of them away. But he ended up chasing and finishing off the fight regardless of that missed Sonic Wave, and they only ended up really losing the Underlord of consequence to it. But by and large, another great fight for TNC. Oh, this Anti-Mage 5,000 gold ahead of the next highest.
Yeah.
They're set.
Yeah, they are by all means set, and that window for Moogle feels like it's closing fairly quickly, because even with an item like a Silver Edge on Earthshaker and OD, I mean, I guess he has his 4-staff, the Hurricane Pike coming. Of course, that's going to be nice to have, but the more those minutes add up, the next 10 to 15 minutes, it seems like Anti-Mage is going to almost be unkillable. And then you also have Queen of Pain, by the way, who's very mobile, and it looks like to be finishing up a BKB herself. So, key items, some progress being made by TNC, and again, the window for Moogle feels like it's closing, but this is going to help their cause. Widen that window maybe a little bit. The kinetic field stolen, it seems like. Glimpse on back to Night Stalker, so at least they're going to kill him. Poison Nova activated as well, but now Cuckoo is here to clean up Disruptor. He'll feel the pain of the Sonic Wave. And he goes down, Kai. Anti-Mage is not going to commit too much. OD trying to find him now and maybe put him under. He will.
Oh, God.
They're not going to kill him. Yeah, I was going to say it's Dark Rift. Oh, it gets out, actually. Kind of distracts him a little bit in the back lines.
Like Raven is finally out of there. He's going to have an Invis rune. I don't think that Paulison catches up. He does have Echo Slam, but yeah. So the big thing that I do want to mention is this is one of the strats that you can take against the Anti-Mage. If you look at the items bot on Moogle, they have 4 Hand of Midases. And the reason that this is a little bit scary is because there is a timing when Anti-Mage falls off after he hits his hardest strike. And you hit this really strong period where you get all of your core items, you get 6 slot as AM, you're level 25, and you are just, like you said, unkillable. But if it passes too much further than that, then you end up in scary territory where Anti-Mage ends up losing 1 or 2 fights, and then you can't really do anything.
Echo Slam opening right here on top of Queen of Pain, and it will secure it. There's that Shadow Blade coming into play from Earthshaker. So again, talk about that value right there. That with the blink, a couple of ways to initiate successfully. In this case, happens to find Queen of Pain, so she's going to remain dead for the next minute here. with no even decision to buy back if she wanted to. Not that she would in this case, but shows that her farm may dip below the Venomancer now, but somebody who's not dipping below is that Anti-Mage. Keeps going up, and the Basher, I believe, is being delivered to him right here.
So the key thing is going to be around the time when AM does get fully 6-slotted, Moogle, how they defend their high ground, how they stop the objectives from being taken as, oh, this could be scary.
Still see Enchant Totem. As a ranged hero, that seems like it potentially could be pretty strong, actually. And OD is caught by the Pitted Malice initially. Pops out with the Hurricane Pike, though, but now the Crippling Fear comes out. And they do not. They do. They have to lift, and down goes OD. So, big catch onto him. He's dead for 50 now.
Yeah, I think that, again, any of those little pickoffs is big. You slow down, again, think about, like, survival mode here, really is what it is. You're going to have this AM with the Aegis online. I don't think that Moogle can get here in time to contest this. And if they can hold the next, like, 2 pushes and going off Queen, it would be huge.
That Enchant Totem turned to collapse everything, but she pops a BKB and blinks away. Man, I thought actually they were going to get him. Probably they did too, but Cuckoo, I don't even know if the BKB was frankly necessary, but...
I think it was. I think the Glimpse might have pulled him back again, or they might have been able to get something else down for him on the Thunderstrike, possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, that was obviously the safe decision, if anything, so...
Well, and it speaks to how important this timing is right now. If they end up losing the momentum off the back of this Aegis and don't make the most of it, then you start to get into really scary territories. So I think that right now, TNC, they're not under the gun, but they need to be active with their movement.
Yeah, perhaps someone telling where this game may end up. As Dark Rift, where's he going? Cancel it, never mind. Not sure exactly if he thought that there was a lot more here or something, but...
Dubious.
Yeah, he's like, alright, never mind, didn't mean to do that. Queen of Pain, ooh. Invisible, what is something gave it away? Yeah, I guess he saw the animation at the last second or something, because now they find him with that dust. Crippling Fear. It's a matter of time who gets the last hit. It will be Cuckoo.
I'm sorry. Did you say
on the Queen.
stop?
Well, it's only about a 5,000 net worth lead. Again, a lot of that is AM, but they're going to be searching around in here, and Kai's doing a good job of keeping vision in the area, but it's still just so hard against Night Stalker that it's looking like they're going to start putting the stranglehold on him.
Abyssal Blade just about finished for Raven. I can't believe it's staying at 28 minutes, but with the Manta and the Vlads and the Battle Fury, but that's just, again, what he does. 19.6k net worth, and he's going for the tier 3. Has the Aegis, why not?
This is the scary part, and they have to hold here. This is the moment where if Moogle can get past this, things start to become easier. Not easy, but easier.
Earthshaker's up in 7. Echo Slam is also ready to go. It is level 2, almost level 3 actually. Ooh, the hook shot. Swing and a miss right there coming out from the Clockwork. Almost got the Rubik, but comes up short, and instead the middle tower and the secondary tower is actually going to go down here.
Radiant's middle tower has
To Raven.
Big.
Oh yeah, if they can find him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to quite do it. And again, it's just they're expecting that this might be a movement in to try and take the shrine, and then Paulison can maybe take a fight there, but it's just still so hard. You don't have enough damage with just the Earthshaker to solo kill the Anti-Mage.
Continues to hunt, though. We've obviously seen it work out pretty well for him so far. That's another Shadow Blade cooldown. Gonna use it right here, right on top of a ward, though. So they saw this coming. Now, what is gonna happen with it? Cuckoo, he's sitting on the sentry. He knows he's here. He's acting like he does, and he's waiting for his teammates to get here.
Oh,
now,
wow.
They're almost expecting him to go for the creep wave, but that's not the case. And yeah, now actually, Earthshaker knows something's up.
Berry, and there's Fuels. And maybe they can get Paulison as well. We'll see if they use the scan or not. I'm not sure if they have it.
They try for, they do have a scan ready to go. There we go, they missed though.
Oh, he's going to use it though.
Yep.
He's flapping.
Flapping around and finds the Earthshaker. There's a dust as well, so absolutely no escape chance for Earthshaker.
Damn, alright, that's Earthshaker, that's Disruptor, that's Clockwork. That is 3 heroes dead across the map, 30 seconds and 50 seconds no buyback. This is the time to go for TNC.
Yeah, Clockwork dying to Raven there, yeah. During all of that pursuit and chase. So that Abyssal Blade, of course, helping him for that. And now he even has a heart. 2,700. He like just got the Abyssal Blade.
Yeah.
And casual 2,700 gold on top of that.
Under attack.
Absolutely absurd. Top tower is going to fall pretty quickly. So yeah, we really haven't seen that Dark Rift movement from Underlord. We've seen him save a couple of times, but they haven't really needed it, though, to be fair. It's not really coming to play. In fact, oh, there's the lockdown of the Abyssal Blade on Venoman to the lift. They toss him in to the pits, and he's dead for 70 with no buyback. Backlines, Disruptor's caught by the Yules, and they're going to finish him off as well. He, too, is going to stay dead, and this should be at least the top racks, if not more here.
Yeah, this is backbreaking right now. You have OD, who's great at doing the lave clear. He's got the Hurricane Pike as well, so Raven can't jump on him unless he has Abyssal Blade. Or if they just all are there.
Or he'll get jumped on himself, and now they do have Earthshaker hookshot onto his teammate, actually. He's trying to maybe go for the quap in the area, I guess. At least got the cogs up, but they lose OD nonetheless. And the racks does end up falling, so seems like a lost effort here for Moogle. I mean, they're trying, but it's just not going to work. This anti-mage is just way too buff now. They're going to buy back onto OD and try to make a play here. Dark Rift is still ready to go if needed. Again, anti-mage, what do? He just has free reign, it feels like. Moving around. And, oh, by the way, he stalls an Aegis.
Yeah, anti-mage is pretty good if you let him hit creeps for 20 minutes. Yeah. And I said, you know, about 30-minute mark, this might be over, and here's the play. You Dark Rift together as a team. Echo!
Oh, Night Stalker felt the pain.
They were so mad. They wanted them so badly. Oh,
that
God.
Would have been interesting. Imagine if, like, 3 of those guys died right there, but yeah, just Night Stalker. Not going to happen. Yeah, I'll see a lot of people against Underlord. They have 4 stats, right? Yeah. Yeah, 1 on Veno, 1 on Earthshaker, so. And then 1 actually on OD. So yeah, they have 3 4 stats, whether you can, you know, obviously 4 staff either out Underlord himself or, you know, teammates in the Dark Rift that makes them miss it, but I guess that's the way to do it too. You just Earthshaker Echo Slam it.
Yeah, I think that's like the ultimate play, but again, it's like normally you would have OD who has a blink and then a Hurricane Pike as well, and oh god.
Offensive Yules right there, but Clockwork's going to prevent the actual follow-up. Static Storm barely does not catch Rubik. Magnetic Field. Rubik also like a glimpse back, however, so they actually do finish the job, but now the chase continues. Clockwork put under.
Who doesn't have a BKB now?
Still wants to go in, though. No surprise. Clockwork lived? Wait, what? What?
Yeah, he's a liver.
Did they just forget about him or something? They must have assumed that he was going to die.
Yeah, everybody just wanted more, so they kept on running past him.
Wow.
3:22 o'clock, apparently. That's what it is. They're on the top timer.
Okay, so yeah, I gotta say, TNC not playing the smoothest here in this game, but overall, again, it's they have a very comfortable lead now, 18,000 net worth lead, and
I think it's pretty good still. Like, it shows that they're in that mentality of still being hungry for the kills in spite of being so far ahead, and that's the type of mentality that's going to take them through this group stage, is not tiring, not giving up that intensity.
Well, this is trying to put them 3-0 and up there on top of the group stages, of course, as a result, and getting the victories that they really need. And like I was talking about earlier, too, they finish off the day with the match against Faceless. And one of the big matchups, arguably the biggest one of these group stages in the Southeast Asia region, at least. So they still got that ahead of them to look forward to, but we'll love to go into it with that undefeated record. And right now, trying to finish the job against Moogle, make that happen. And Anti-Mage is going to finish off the last shrine, as the top lane, of course, has already been cleared out. So they got the middle and the bottom now to think about doing. But I guess Roshan's also another option. Just simply wait for that. 3,700 life on Anti-Mage, by the way, with 2,400 more gold saved up. Yeah, going that heart choice, that with the Vlads and the Abyssal Blade, just really going this beefy build.
You know, there is one thing that's a little bit scary here, is you do have a Heaven's Halberd completed on the Venomancer. So much of this net worth in this game is tied up into the Anti-Mage, and he does not have a BKB. So if they manage to be able to get that off, I mean, you're still going to have illusions that are going to be able to do stuff with Manta and all that stuff, but I'm seeing a way in which they can keep the AM off of their heroes. That's the way they have to take the fight, is get the Halberd off and disarm him for a little while, enough that OD can build up the stacks and then eventually hopefully drop the hammer. It's a hard thing to execute, but that's the way they have to take the fight.
Well, so BKB doesn't even remove it anymore, does it?
No, but if you can get it off beforehand, so BKB and
so you
then
mean before. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do Roshan here. G's ready to go. Moogle, they have the vision. I think they just got it with a rocket, but what are they really gonna do about it? They're gonna keep scouting it out. That's what they're gonna do. But eventually, it's gonna happen. And are they really gonna give it to Anthony? I was gonna say maybe go to the Quap, honestly, but nah, he'll just take both even. Okay, no, the cheese is given up to the Night Stalker instead. So 5-man smoke up right after Roshan. Maybe try to catch OD. How aggressive are they gonna go?
Oh, this is gonna be a big initiation. Oh no.
Quap wants to go. They're all going in, and they catch one. That's going to be the Venomancer there, but the Force Staffs, at least 2 of them coming out to keep them alive for the time being. Shiva's at the backline, so the Static Storm put down. The Sonic Wave, though, in the face of Venomancer. He dies, buys back immediately. OD, though's caught, and OD is going to stay there for 90 seconds now, as Anti-Mage just really sat on top, and the Mana Void helped get the kill as well.
Moogle can't fight this. They have to run away. This is not going to work.
But you run away, you lose a rack. I think it's just a last-ditch effort, honestly, for Moogle. This could be the beginning of the end in favor of TNC. Venomancer, absolutely no mana left. This would be a dieback on him as well with that. That should probably do it. GGs are being called. TNC, once again, going to be 3-0 here in the group stages. Definitely has not been an easy ride. They had to come back the last game, and this one, there were a couple of points. Some overextensions, you can say. But overall, I mean, they were in control of this game. 3-0, feeling pretty good, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think for Moogle, too, if you look at that,